Good morning. This is Jay Milanov, the creator of the English with Jay project and the Essential English course. And you're listening to episode 16 of my weekly Essential English podcast. Today, we are going to talk about psychedelics. In Bulgarian, we call them психоактивни вещества. This is an extremely interesting and very polarizing topic, so I hope it intrigues you. The word psychedelics comes from Greek and means expressing the mind. Psychedelics are substances like MDMA, LSD, magic mushrooms, ayahuasca, and DMT. These substances make certain areas of the brain very active. This makes you see, hear, and think in ways that you've never done before. The way psychedelics do this is by turning off a very specific part of your brain, called the default mode network. This is where your fears and worries come from. And it's also the home of the ego. That region of the brain is like a filter for all thoughts. When it's off, your ego is gone and all other regions of the brain are free to communicate directly to each other. This may cause synesthesia, for example. It can also help you see your problems and your life from such a different and positive perspective that you remember it forever. It's like the opposite of a big trauma. You can learn so much about yourself in just a few hours that some experts compare a psychedelic trip to going through 10 years of therapy. As psychedelics help you connect to yourself and see your problems from a different angle, they can help people deal with depression, traumatic experiences, cancer diagnosis, and all sorts of addictions like smoking, drinking, and using cocaine. And what's more surprising, the effects of a psychedelic experience can stay with the patient for months, even years, even though the trip takes just a few hours. All those things we mentioned are why many people report having a mystical experience when using psychedelics. A lot of them claim that their psychedelic experience is among the top 3 or 4 most important moments in their lives, along with things such as the birth of a child or the loss of a parent. The reason psychedelics are polarizing is that they are considered drugs. A drug is a substance that changes the way you look at yourself and the world for a short while. This makes it harder to control yourself. But in fact, such is the case with many of the medicines that you can buy from the pharmacy. This is why all medicines insist that you read the instructions carefully. Some of them make you sleepy, others make you nervous, etc. Of course, psychedelics are more powerful in changing your mind than typical medicines. They hide some risks, which we'll discuss soon, but you may be surprised to learn 2 things about them that I myself didn't know until recently. Psychedelics are not toxic and they are not addictive. This episode is already long, so I'll explain what I mean in episode 17. I will tell you why psychedelics are illegal and how things are starting to change. This was episode 16 of the Essential English podcast.